What if you could unplug gravity? Let's say you wake up one morning, stumble into your kitchen, pour yourself a bowl of cereal, and instead of milk, it's the milk that pours itself upward, into the ceiling. You blink, look down, and your cereal is floating too. You reach for it, but oops, so are you. Congratulations. You, or someone reckless and curious, just found the world's first gravity switch and flipped it off. Now we all have a very big problem. First, let's talk about what gravity actually is, in case you missed that class, or were busy making your pencil orbit your eraser like a tiny Saturn. Gravity is the force that pulls masses toward each other. It's what keeps your butt in the chair, the moon orbiting Earth, and Earth orbiting the sun. And without it, everything becomes a little unhinged. In this hypothetical universe, let's imagine gravity is controlled by a massive, invisible plug socket embedded somewhere in the planet's core. Someone, maybe your clumsy neighbor Steve, trips over the cord while digging a suspiciously large hole in his backyard. Snap, gravity goes dark. At first, it's not that bad. In fact, some people enjoy it. You can float around your apartment like a zero-G astronaut, bouncing gently off walls and ceilings. You laugh, you spin, you try to drink a cup of coffee, only to have it form a perfect sphere and slap you in the face. But within seconds, things escalate. Buildings aren't really designed to deal with the sudden loss of weight. Everything not bolted down, or even things that are, start to drift. Laptops, pets, children, refrigerators, you name it. Your goldfish floats out of its tank, looking extremely confused. Outside, chaos takes over. Cars lift off highways like awkward metallic balloons. Airplanes, which rely on gravity just as much as wings, can't land, or worse, can't stay aligned with the air below them. Trains unstick from tracks. Bicycles slowly tumble upward, followed by very surprised cyclists. And then come the oceans. Water, no longer held down, begins to rise en masse. Entire seas detach from the Earth's surface and start to glob. The Pacific Ocean becomes a loosely held together blob the size of a continent, drifting up like the world's most terrifying beach ball. Rain? Forget it. Now it's an ascending waterfall. Rivers reverse. Whales discover low Earth orbit. Oh, and the atmosphere? Yeah, we're losing that too. Gravity doesn't just keep you grounded. It holds on to air. Without it, the nitrogen, oxygen, and all the other tasty gases we breathe start bleeding off into space. Within minutes, the pressure drops. You feel it in your ears, then in your lungs, then not at all. Time to grab a spacesuit, or at least a snorkel filled with lies. But wait, you say, floating helplessly toward the ceiling fan. What about the Earth itself? Good question. The Earth's gravity doesn't just affect stuff on the surface. It holds the whole planet together. If gravity vanished entirely, tectonic plates would loosen, magma would bubble weirdly. The crust might fragment like a shattered eggshell. Worse, without gravity compressing the core, Earth could start puffing out like an unbuttoned shirt, slowly losing its spherical shape. It might even break apart into pieces, giant rocky debris that drift aimlessly through the void, possibly forming a very awkward asteroid family therapy group. Meanwhile, the moon, which was happily orbiting us, has no reason to hang around. It flies off in a straight line, like a rock thrown into the cosmos, maybe crashing into Mars, Jupiter, or, poetically, your ex's new vacation home. And humans? We're in real trouble. Even if you had a suit to breathe, there's nothing keeping you connected to Earth anymore. You try to hold on to a tree, but the tree is already halfway to the ionosphere. Cities disassemble, skyscrapers float sideways, countries blur into an international soup of debris. So what do? Well, somebody better plug gravity back in. Fast. Maybe someone finds the cord, probably Steve again, and wrestles it back into the socket while floating upside down. Gravity jolts back on with a massive thud. Everything crashes to the ground. Oceans slam back into the continents, flattening entire coastlines. Floating buildings come down like a kid losing a game of Jenga. You fall, too, hopefully onto a mattress, or at least not a kitchen table. The Earth groans. The moon is long gone. The atmosphere tries to settle. Humanity dusts itself off and collectively agrees, let's not do that again. In the end, unplugging gravity sounds like fun, until you realize everything we know depends on it. It's not just about falling apples or dropped phones. It's about structure, life, breath, and holding the entire planet together. So the next time someone asks what gravity ever did for you, just tell them it kept your dog, your oxygen, and your house on the ground. Not bad for an invisible force you can't see.